Welcome back, Focused Learners. Okay, so today we're taking a seriously fascinating journey into the world of digital independence. If you've ever felt, kind of trapped by big tech ecosystems, this explainer is exactly what you need. We're looking at a complete blueprint for digital sovereignty and self-hosting. Essentially, we're talking about how to pack up your data, move out of the public cloud, and into a digital home that you own and control completely.
So why do this? Well, our source material highlights a few major factors driving this huge trend of leaving the cloud. Users are increasingly asking themselves, are my data actually safe? People are getting pretty frustrated with arbitrary service shutdowns and those subscription costs that just keep creeping up. Plus, the sources point out that shifting political landscapes, like the possibility of a second Trump term, are making US-based cloud providers a bit less attractive to some international users who are worried about data privacy or trade disputes. Now, we're absolutely not taking a political stance here, but we are going to dive into the technological solutions the sources propose for anyone looking for a way out.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our architectural blueprint for the explainer. Number 1, ways out of the cloud. Number 2, hardware, rent or at home. Number 3, software setup with Docker. Number 4, secure access from outside. And finally, number 5, conclusion, digital sovereignty.
Let's jump right into section 1, ways out of the cloud.
Right, so the core problem we're facing today is basically a giant trade-off. The supreme comfort of the public cloud comes at a pretty heavy cost, surrendering control over your own data. The ultimate solution, as the experts put it, is DIY or die. Self-hosting means you're taking back control by building your own infrastructure. Whether you're just a family of 4 looking to privately share photos using something like Nextcloud, or you're a hardcore tech hobbyist wanting to run complex document management systems, building your own setup is absolutely the definitive path to digital independence.
Moving on to section 2, hardware. Do you rent or keep it at home?
Now, what's really interesting about this is that before we build our digital house, we need a plot of land, right? A lot of beginners think, oh, I'll just use that old desktop PC gathering dust in the corner. But the pure economics are kind of surprising. An old PC running 24/7 can easily cost you €20 a month just in electricity alone. Contrast that with a rented virtual private server, or a VPS. You can get a cheap, incredibly fast VPS from a European hoster starting around just $3.50 a month. Plus, in a data center, you get massive internet speeds that aren't bottlenecked by your home ISP. Now, of course, if you want it physically at home, a low-power device like a Raspberry Pi or a mini PC remains a fantastic, energy-efficient choice.
Oh, and a quick side note. If you do decide to run beefy hardware at home, the sources highly recommend a tool called Proxmox. It's what's known as a hypervisor. Basically, think of it as a master operating system that lets you slice up one really powerful physical machine into a bunch of smaller, isolated virtual machines. It is absolutely fantastic for advanced users who want to experiment with different setups without, totally breaking their main system.
Okay, section 3, software setup with Docker.
All right, so we've got our hardware foundation. Now let's talk about the framing of our house. In the old days, you'd install software natively, directly onto your operating system. But experts actively avoid doing this now. Why? Because it creates an absolute nightmare of dependency conflicts. For instance, say Nextcloud needs PHP 8.1, but your WordPress site demands PHP 8.2. Suddenly, your system hits a brick wall. Enter Docker. Docker puts your applications into containers, bundling the app and its specific dependencies into clean, completely isolated environments. And the absolute best part? Unlike heavy virtual machines, containers have virtually zero performance overhead. They literally only use the RAM required for the app itself. It's a real game changer.
Now, if the whole concept of Docker sounds super intimidating, please don't worry. The experts note that with just basic computer literacy, learning Docker only takes about a week. You just follow this really logical 4-step software setup order. First, install a standard Linux operating system like Debian or Ubuntu. Second, install Docker itself. Third, add a tool called Portainer. And fourth, add Watchtower. Let's demystify that jargon really quickly. Portainer is simply a friendly, point-and-click graphical web interface. Instead of staring blankly at a daunting command line trying to manage your containers, Portainer gives you a beautiful, intuitive dashboard. You can start, stop, and monitor all your apps with just a click of a mouse. And then there's Watchtower. So the crucial point here is that Watchtower acts as your very own automated maintenance worker. It periodically checks if the creators of your apps have released new versions, and if they have, it quietly fetches them and applies the updates for you in the background. It keeps all your services modern and, most importantly, secure, literally without you having to lift a finger. Moving on to Section 4, Secure Access from Outside.
Okay, this is the final boss of our setup, securing the doors and windows of our new digital home. First things first, we need to de-escalate some common beginner anxiety. The exact moment you connect a server to the internet, automated bots are going to start knocking on its digital doors, usually within the very first hour. You'll see log entries of bots trying to guess passwords or scanning for old vulnerabilities. Do not panic. You are not being personally targeted by some hacker mastermind. This is literally just the standard background noise of the internet.
However, because of those bots, the experts issue a massive, highly visible warning. Do not open ports on your router if you don't fully understand port forwarding. Port forwarding is basically poking a permanent hole in your router security to let outside traffic in. The moment you forward a port, you instantly become a public server administrator, and that comes with serious responsibility. If you blindly forward ports to your smart light bulb or your Raspberry Pi without properly securing them, they absolutely will be compromised, for sure. So, to keep the bad guys out, you have to implement this mandatory security hygiene toolkit. Number 1, always keep your underlying operating system updated. Number 2, disable standard password logins for your server entirely. Use cryptographic SSH keys instead. They are vastly more secure and, honestly, way more convenient once you get them set up. Number 3, enable a firewall like UFW, that stands for Uncomplicated Firewall on Linux. And number 4, strictly limit your open doors. Only open port 443 for encrypted web traffic and port 22 for your secure SSH administration. Everything else, lock down tight.
Now, you might be wondering, what if you want to access your private files from a coffee shop, but you really don't want to expose your server to the public internet at all? Enter Wireguard. And this brilliantly illustrates how modern networking can protect us. Wireguard acts as a highly secure, private tunnel that connects your smartphone directly into your digital living room. It completely bypasses the public front door. You literally just scan a QR code on your phone, flip a switch, and suddenly, your phone acts exactly as if you were sitting on your own couch at home, safely accessing your private server. It's amazing.
But what if you do need to share things publicly? Like, say, sending a secure photo album link to your grandma. Well, for that, you'll need a reverse proxy, like Caddy or Traffic. Think of a reverse proxy like a highly efficient front desk receptionist. When a request comes in from the internet for, say, photos.yourdomain.com, the proxy catches it at the front door and directs that traffic to the exact right container room in the back. Even better, modern reverse proxies automatically fetch free TLS certificates from Let's Encrypt for you. This ensures that the little green padlock appears in your browser, meaning your private data is never exposed in plain text to internet service providers or anyone else snooping around the network.
Let's move to our conclusion: digital sovereignty.
Let's see how all of this builds into the ultimate goal we've been aiming for today. Look, leaving the comfort of big tech definitely requires effort, a bit of learning, and some real responsibility. But the payoff? It's immense. As one of the experts from our source material perfectly noted, the sheer joy and satisfaction when your self-hosted instance runs for the very first time, displaying that secure lock symbol under a domain name that you actually own, it's just an incredibly pleasing experience. It's this profound feeling of self-efficacy. You built it, you run it, and nobody can take it away or scan your personal files to sell you targeted ads.
The blueprint is right here in your hands. You know the hardware choices, you know the Docker software stack, and you know the essential security rules you absolutely need to follow. The only thing left to decide is your starting point. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to spark your journey toward digital sovereignty. What service are you going to self-host first? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Focused learners, keep exploring, keep learning, and go take back control of your data.